Hello, and this is Theme Park Squib, and welcome to another show. This week we've got a lot to talk about, not mainly about Halloween, but mainly about new rides and rides that are closing across the world. Also this week I will reveal last week's guest to ride, show you some merchandise, and shout outs. Let's get into news. This week in news we've got a lot to talk about, mainly about rides closing across the UK. It's so sad when these do get announced. And firstly, Thorpe Park Fright Nights have announced their scare ratings, or the form scare ratings, and which mazes have scare ratings of what. This year it'll be in fear factors with skulls for this year. They start from 1 skull, obviously being the lowest, and 5 skulls obviously being the most intense. This year the four returning attractions, such as Saw Alive will have 5 skulls. Platform 15 will have 3 skulls in the day and 4 skulls in the night. The Walking Dead Living Nightmare will also have 5 skulls, and Containment will have 4 skulls. The new mazes for this year: Vulcan Peak, which will have the 4 skull rating. Blair Witch will have 3 skulls in the day and 4 skulls at night. The brand new Walking Dead maze, Walking Dead Do or Die, will be 3 skulls in the day and 5 at night. The 2 brand new scare zones for this year: the Big Top Showtime will be 3, and the Terror at Amity High will be 2 skulls. And the new 4D show for this year, the Screenplex Cinema, will be 4 skulls as well. So the highest at the event are Walking Dead Do or Die at night, Saw Alive and The Walking Dead Living Nightmare, and the lowest at the event will be Terror Amity High. I do like when those do get announced, so we know how scary the attractions are going to be. This week though, Adventure Island, something has appeared online that someone has found that they are selling off a beloved flat ride at the park. They are selling off the Scorpion flat ride. If you don't know what the Scorpion is, it's a huge scorpion which holds arms, it's have gondolas in, it spins round and the gondolas themselves will spin and it lifts up, giving quite a unique sensation. But it is getting sold, as it says there. It can be sold to another park or sold to the Travelling Fair circuit. I reckon it could go to the Travelling Fair circuit, but it's probably, to be honest, going to go to somewhere either in South Africa or Brazil, where all these old rides do go to when they are sold off, because they can get them cheap. For little parks out there to get a ride like that will be fantastic. Also, they have announced that a new ride, it will be cleared for new ride space for 2019. So next year we're probably going to have the reopening of the kiddie coaster, which has been rebuilt on top of the roof, and the Scorpion leaving, and probably with a new thrill flat ride for the big new edition for 2019. This year's kind of an off year. We had the Crooked House updated, and it would be nice to see another flat ride at the park. Their last brand new flat ride was Time Machine, so hopefully they'll get one of their original flat rides, because they are fantastic. Time Machine is made by the park themselves. It's not a manufacturer, only one of them in the world. Hopefully the replacement for Scorpion will be like that. Also, Chessington World of Adventures have the Hocus Pocus Hall has appeared on the property market. Yes, it has appeared on the property market. So that means the attraction will be closing at the end of this year. It's on a company, and it's got a sign at the front saying for sale, and it's actually on the website. You can actually buy it for £7 million. I reckon it's a big marketing push for the new attraction. I don't think they'll be selling that for residents to live in. And they're making reference to the ride like it's got a farting chair and a magical mirror maze garden, and all the goblins inside will be included. With this, the attraction will be closing at the end of the season, as they've announced the old owners will leave the house on the 31st of October. So when I do go for Halloween, I will experience it one last time. Also, they've announced that new residents will be announced on October the 17th, so not long to go until we find out our new residents, and the new residents will move in spring 2019. That's obviously a new attraction, new residents moving in spring 2019. Hopefully it's something original, but new residents is probably going to be an IP like either the Stickman or the Room in the Room, other Julia Donaldson novels, or it could be something completely different to the park, but it's going to be something family. And Hocus Pocus Hall has looked a bit tired for the last year, I find. 3D glasses were taken off it, and when I was in there last time, the screen was not in sync, music was off in sections, lights were not working, and some of the effects were not working, so I think they are building up to the closure of the attraction. It opened back in 2003 in the Burnstub Mansion, which has been standing at the park for ages, and it looks like another interesting attraction and family friendly attraction will be coming to the space. This probably confirms that we're not going to see the scare maze come back in there any longer, because I think that's long gone, that one. Mystery at Hocus Pocus Hall. Also this week, Busch Gardens have announced that coming to the Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay will be a new roller coaster for 2019. The new roller coaster will be a Skyrocket 2, which is their bog standard layout for those roller coasters, and will be called Tigerus, but it's not all. They are teasing a big 2020 edition. It's good this ride is coming. It's going on the site of the old Tidal Wave water ride that did close back in 2016. It looks a good addition, but you can find these quite a lot of places. I think that we haven't got any in the UK, but out in the States and especially in Europe, there is quite a lot of them. But the 2020 edition, it's going to be a new roller coaster. It sounds massive. What's been sitting at Busch Gardens for ages, standing and operating? Gwazi, their wooden dueling coaster, which has been standing there since 2015, doing nothing. Could it be RMC'd? That'd be very nice to see that get RMC'd. That's it for news this week. Let's get into merchandise. This week in merchandise, I will show you a very rare piece of merchandise, very classic, that I did have in my collection. I have rearranged my shelves and put some of my mugs and other merchandise I did have in storage since I did move house. And this is one of my favourite. It's a very classic Chessington World of Adventures mug, Dragon River Mystic Easter with the dragon. This is really old and worth quite a bit now, as it's not before what we've got now. It was Dragon Falls, and now it's Tiger Rock. So this is quite. You've got the dragon, the water coming out, where you do see the boat and one of the heads. Those heads have been gone for years. Then you've got the mountains and the station and the Buddha that looks nothing like that, and the old Chessington World of Adventures logo. I remember watching some of the old adverts for this where that was the logo, when Professor Chessington down in the cellar of Burnstub Mansion, and I really do miss Dragon Falls, especially some of the rides that have left Chessington, such as Bubbleworks. That a couple of weeks ago, that was 2 years since that ride closed, which was really sad. And Dragon Falls, that closed about a year ago now, and Hocus Pocus Hall will be the next ride to join the extinct rethemed attractions at Chessington World of Adventures. Let's get into Guess the Ride. This week in Guess the Ride, I will reveal last week's Guess the Ride, that was Cobra, the disco coaster at Chessington World of Adventures Resort. Sadly, no one got that right last week, so this week hopefully you can get it right, as this week it will be the last Guess the Ride practically of the year, because other things will take place next week, something especially spooky. So this week's Guess the Ride is a roller coaster that opened in 1994, part of the Big Three that opened here in the UK. It is a stand-up coaster and was a collaboration between B&M and Intamin, but it is classed as an Intamin coaster. It's still operating to this day, and it is not the big one. I'll only give you it's not the big one because that wasn't even a B&M anyway, or an Intamin, it was a Arrow. That's it for make sure you do guess the ride. If you do get it correct, you will get a shout out in next week's shout out section of the show. Next week, the Guess the Ride will become Guess the Maze, as Halloween is just around the corner. So let's get into shout outs. Let's get straight into the shout outs. First, we have a YouTube comment from Casper Studios 123. Thank you for commenting. Next, we have a new subscriber from Shane Parker. Thank you for subscribing. Next, we have a Twitter like and retweet from Theme Park Guide. Thank you for doing that on Twitter. That's it for this week's episode. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and ask me any theme park related questions down in the comments section down below. Also, don't forget to guess the ride if you do know that guess the ride. And remember, it's just for fun, and it doesn't matter if you do not get it right. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, So that's it for this week. Next week will be our Halloween takeover of the channel, where I'll announce all the scary events I'll be going to for this year's Halloween season. That's it for this week's episode. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye!